The right lane is closed on 30 eastbound between Chapel Creek Boulevard, FM 2871, and West Loop 820. A 9-minute backup here back to Camp Bowie. If you see any traffic problems, call 214-866-8888. I'm Justin Hill with a look at your DFW traffic.
Forecast calls for sunny skies this afternoon and hot with a high near 102. Heat index is as high as 108. Clear tonight, low around 81. Tomorrow, slight chance of showers and thunderstorms after 10 a.m. and then sunny and hot with a high near 89. Tomorrow night, 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms with a low near 77. Thursday, slight chance of showers with a high near 95. More of the Hugh Hewitt Show coming up on 660 a.m. The Answer.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. Summer storms, grid failures, things that can knock out power to your home. Just not your problem when you've got the Generac Home Standby Generator. Get one from Generator Supercenter, the #1 dealer. Expert installation, 24-hour monitoring. Generator Supercenter will never leave you in the dark. You have financing if you need it. 3 DFW locations, 972-779-6297. 972-779-6297. Get one for your home today. The power stays on with Generator Supercenter.
Back to school is here, and the more you look at your floors, you realize just how much summer fun they've had too. From slip and slide grass and dirt to even a bright red soda stain or two. Call Zero Res and get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned for $109 and $75 off air duct cleaning. Plus, Zero Res wants to help you celebrate back to school with a steak dinner. Get a $50 gift card to EG Steak with any cleaning booked this week. Schedule your appointment and ask for the 660 a.m. The Answer special at ZeroResDallas.com or call 214-372-5326.
At Blue Water Pools, we create luxurious outdoor spaces tailored to your vision. Come explore premium materials at our DFW Design Center. Schedule your free design consultation at BlueWaterCustomPools.com. That's BlueWaterCustomPools.com.
Larry Elder, coming up at 7, 660 a.m. The Answer.
Welcome back, America. I'm Hugh Hewitt. Last night, I'm sitting in my chair waiting to appear with Sean Hannity on a panel with Ari Fleischer, and a big promo comes on. Available all on every platform on Fox, the Ruthless Podcast. And I'm in awe, because I think the Ruthless Podcast has achieved liftoff when they get their own promo for a full half minute on the Sean Hannity Show in front of millions of people last night. Joining me now, Josh Holmes of the aforementioned Ruthless Podcast. Have you seen that promo, Josh? It's really beautiful.
I have. It was sort of an out-of-body experience. Actually, the week that we signed with Fox, we were walking through one of the big atriums they have with all the news center, incredibly impressive facility in New York. It was playing in real time as we were walking through it, and I was like, God, I felt like a high school kid rolls into the universe.
Oh, yes.
It was fantastic.
Welcome to the show. You're going to be in the NFL. You're going to get billions of dollars. But it's really nicely done, and they kept the graphics. You know, I'm not quite OG, but I know where this comes from. And did anyone say to you, did anyone try and do the Hollywood thing? And we love everything, but let us make a few changes.
No, actually, it was quite the opposite. I mean, everybody that we worked with at Fox was basically like, we love what you do. Please don't change anything for it. And that was obviously extremely attractive to us because we've always done what we've done because we love it. Same reason you do. It's like you have this relationship with the audience. They get to know you, and it's an authentic presentation because it's just what we'd be doing at the bar. They weren't doing it in front of microphones, and that's what they wanted, so that's what everybody gets.
Well, everybody's going to love it, and people should watch it, but they should like and subscribe to the Ruthless Podcast. Josh, I want to get ahead of your program. I listened to today's podcast, and you didn't cover it, and so I want to ask you what I think you're going to be covering, which is the redistricting wars. The secret sauce in the Ruthless Podcast is the guys are pros. They actually know what they're talking about. They came out from behind the curtain to in front of the microphone, and they know what redistricting wars are like. Who's going to win this? Because Texas is going to add 5R. Newsom's going to get on the ballot. I don't bet against Democrats in California. I lived there for 29 years, so I think he's probably going to win. What's the end result, though, when all the redistricting wars are done?
Well, I mean, it's all about the political courage and to see this all the way through. I mean, if California does what they appear to be doing to try to counteract Texas, they have Democrats have a hell of a lot more liability in redistricting wars than Republicans do. I mean, you just take the state of Illinois where all the people of Texas retreated to. I mean, you look at some of those districts, you could have 3 would across areas to try to connect one blue area to another, just to ensure that you have a Democratic congressperson. And I think that is the case basically throughout. I mean, Democrats historically have been far more aggressive in politically conniving in redistricting their states than Republicans had ever dreamed to be. And they set up these, like, quote-unquote, bipartisan commission. But listen, redistricting is a political exercise. It is not something that is some bipartisan commission you're going to find some whatever. It's a political exercise, and when it's executed to try to provide the best interest of people who elected the people to make these decisions, it largely represents the party in power. Democrats have just taken that to the nth degree. And my sense is that if this was played all the way out, they would have a real problem on their hands. The only thing I worry about, Hugh, is whether people have the political courage to just really ratchet it up and go all the way through it.
Well, that is what I'm encouraged by, some of the reaction I've seen. Now, you've got one of your ruthless brothers is from Indiana, and I think they got to go talk to Governor Braun because he is hesitant. Indiana's got it. Ohio's going to do it by law. They have to redistrict. Florida, Danny Perez, the speaker down there, he started it. Kelly Ayotte, the governor of New Hampshire, is a very solid Republican, but she's opposed to it. Nebraska could easily turn the one Democratic seat into a red seat. It could be done. In fact, I think the Republicans would end up net 10 plus if they all played by Chicago rules. Now, I just quoted Chicago rules to Mark Levin. The great Joe Malone, played by Sean Connery. If he brings a knife, you bring a gun. If he sends one of yours to the hospital, you send one of yours to the morgue. Now, here's the morgue. Do you think the Republicans will do it?
Nice house, a shame if something happened to it. That film? Yeah, that's exactly right, Hugh. Listen, I don't know. And I hope that we're now in a day and age when you can recognize what it is that the liberal left has done. I mean, for so long, Republicans have tried to play largely between the 40s, if you take a football analogy, where they, they'll take some liberties, but you keep it relatively inoffensive. Democrats have never played by those rules, and I think if we're going to get into a full-throated battle over redistricting, you got to go all the way out. And if California is going to come back at Texas, I think it's a green light. And honestly, I think it's kind of a liability to those governors and state lawmakers if they don't pursue it, because you're really letting the conservative movement down. If you give up the House of Representatives simply because you don't have the courage to pursue what your Democratic counterparts across this country are doing, that is a real problem.
That is very well said. I hope you say that on the podcast, on the program. Let me ask you about the wisdom for the benefit of the people of California. An example. My friend Ken Calvert has been a friend for 30 years. He is now the senior appropriator on the House Armed Services Appropriations Subcommittee. So he controls billions and billions and billions of spending. The governor of California wants to take out Ken Calvert. How stupid is that for a state as underwater as California is?
Pretty dumb. I mean, look, somebody who controls that amount of spending, you got an awful lot of levers to work with. But look, I don't think there's anything particularly strategic about Gavin Newsom. I think he's basically just a suit, right? The slick back hair, smooth talker. He'll reverse every position depending upon the audience that he's in front of. I mean, this guy's just trying to get a little further down the road in each and every step, and it doesn't seem to me like there is a grand plan there. This is why this guy, although will be in the conversation for 2028, I think he's got a real problem, because his strategic thinking, if you just look back the last 10 years, not particularly impressive in an awful lot of ways. History has proven him.
He has accepted an invitation to be on this program, my program, not the program.
Of course he has.
At least 6 or 7 times, and then he turns me over to a guy named Izzy, and I never hear anything. So I keep emailing him, he keeps saying yes, and he never shows up. He'll never show up. I think he's got a glass jaw.
Well, not only that, but, I mean, look, not to just sort of toot your horn here, Hugh, but when you come on the Hugh Hewitt show, you got to know your stuff. This guy doesn't know his stuff. He knows how to sort of persuade based on what he thinks it is that you want to hear, and he can be congenial, and he's probably pretty good in small rooms and whatnot. But the grand policy pronouncement that this guy has made over his entire career have been absolutely abjectly terrible. And for a guy like you, if you're coming on your show, you're going to have to defend that kind of stuff. I don't think they want any part of it.
Well, we'll see. We will see. I think you ought to go on your show. If you really want to be president, every Democrat ought to be asking to be on the Ruthless podcast in the way that Speaker Johnson and every other Republican with charm and eloquence, and everyone shows up on the Ruthless podcast. And if you are not listening, you're behind. Josh Holmes, thank you for coming on. Follow him on X at Holmes Josh. Follow the Ruthless podcast on X at Ruthless Podcast. But most importantly, go to YouTube, like and subscribe to the program if you wish to opine. Don't go anywhere, America. I'm coming right back on today's Hugh Hewitt Show.
Portions of the Hugh Hewitt Show brought to you by Sierra Pacific Mortgage. For more info, call 888-1172. Breaking news, stimulating talk. This is 660 AM. The Answer.
Sunny skies and 97 degrees. I'm Mary Rose. Ukrainian President Zelensky. No date has been set for his meeting with Russian President Putin. Speaking with reporters outside the White House last night, he said he had a productive meeting with President Trump and other European leaders. However, there was no date yet for his face-to-face with Putin. Trump said after the talks, he's arranging a meeting between Zelensky and Putin. The end of mail-in ballots is something President Trump wants to see before the 2026 midterm elections. The president shared a post on Truth Social, which outlined his plan to lead a movement to get rid of mail-in ballots. And it targets what he called highly inaccurate, very expensive, and seriously controversial voting machines. Trump has previously claimed there's been widespread voter fraud involving mail-in ballots and pledged to fight for election integrity. While the president's post is calling for an end to the mail-in ballots, an effort to dramatically overhaul the way federal elections are run has faced legal roadblocks in recent months. Sunny and hot this afternoon with a high near 102. Clear tonight, low around 81. Tomorrow, slight chance of showers and thunderstorms with a high near 99. Now you know what's going on. I'm Mary Rose on 660 AM. The Answer.
Traffic watch. It looks like we have road construction in Fort Worth. The right lane is closed on 30 eastbound between Chapel Creek Boulevard, FM 2871, and West Loop 820. A 9-minute backup here back to Camp Bowie. If you see any traffic problems, call 214-866-8888. I'm Justin Hill with Look at Your DFW Traffic.
Not every victory has fireworks. Sometimes it's a quiet win, like tying your shoes without gasping, walking upstairs without pissing, or being able to sit cross-legged on the floor and play with your kids. That's what soda gave me. I lost 82 pounds in just 16 weeks. And with it, went the weight, the aches, the excuses, but what I gained, confidence, energy, time, and a version of myself I thought was long gone. Soda didn't overwhelm me with rules or leave me starving. I ate real food. I learned what my body needed. And the personal nutritionist, game changer. They were there with answers, encouragement, and real solutions. If you're looking for your own quiet win, this is your moment. If it worked for me, it will work for you. Go to SodaWeightLoss.com, click the Request a Nutritionist callback. It's time. You can do it. SodaWeightLoss.com. SOTA, SodaWeightLoss.com.
Soda is, say it with me, state of the art.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. Who needs health insurance? Everybody. If you don't have health insurance, maybe you're shopping for health insurance, I have friends who can help. DFWDirectInsurance.com, helping folks every day, finding coverage they don't have at work, getting better coverage than they have at work, helping small business owners secure great coverage for their employees, simply surveying the health insurance scene to get people the best plans guaranteed for the best price guaranteed. DFWDirectInsurance.com, locally owned since 2009, shopping the best health insurance deals for you at no cost for their service. DFWDirectInsurance.com.
Shane Mullen with Mullen & Mullen Injury Law Firm. If you're injured or you've lost a loved one due to someone else's negligence, it's important to hire a law firm that understands North Texas and knows their way around here. Claiming some big verdict or settlement 200 miles away is not exactly local. Mullen & Mullen's been fighting for and supporting our North Texas